This video offers you an overview of Chapter 2 of Living by Chemistry, called Basic Building Materials. This chapter introduces students to elements, elemental symbols, and the periodic table in 5 lessons. In Chapter 2, students learn how chemists use chemical formulas to track changes in matter, how matter is conserved in chemical processes, and the organization of the elements into the periodic table. The 5 lessons are listed here. They include chemical names and symbols. Then there's a lab, the copper cycle lab, with a follow-up discussion about how matter was conserved in the copper cycle. And then there are 2 lessons that involve first an activity of the properties of the elements, in which students have cards and organize them according to the periodic table. And then there's a follow-up lesson in order to have a discussion about the elements of the periodic table and the patterns that emerge from the activity. In Lesson 9, Create a Table, groups of 4 students are given periodic table cards. Each card has the name and symbol of an element. Students place the 4 yellow cards in a column as shown on the slide. Then they sort the other cards using the information about the elements provided on the card. We find students are very successful in recreating the periodic table with the cards they are given. Make sure you remember to take down any periodic tables you have hanging in your classroom, as that will give away the activity. Now, the result of the card sort activity is shown on this slide. Notice that there are a number of patterns that are evident, and students will tell you which of the patterns they used in order to arrive at this periodic table. Notice that one card is missing. When Mendeleev first proposed a periodic table, this element had not yet been discovered. Just as Mendeleev did, your students can predict the properties of this element. In summary, Chapter 2 has given students an opportunity to learn about elements as the basic building materials of matter. Copper and gold are both elements. This might indicate that you can't turn copper into gold because both are basic building materials, just as you can't interconvert real building materials. For example, you can't turn wood into metal. In the next lesson, in the next chapter, they will explore how the elements differ from one another in more detail.